Hey guys, this is the Starlight Strategist bringing you a card spotlight. Today I'm going to be talking about Greg the Fort, or as skeptics would call him, Gregorius Fortress. But, alright, so Greg the Fort. Now, what makes Greg so cool is the fact that Dark Lord's Revenge, whenever this creature or one of your other creatures is banished, your opponent chooses one of their creatures from the battle zone and banishes that creature. Now, one of the cool things about this effect that it counts towards him. A lot of creature effects count for other creatures. It counts towards him, and the only way to get around this effect is through the use of Root Trap. Alright, so basically, whenever anything of yours is banished, they have to banish a creature. Well, that's pretty cool. You can clear the board fairly quickly using this effect, and I'm going to show you a few ways how. I'm going to show you some cards that just work with him, just abuse his ability, and just can keep on bringing on the hurt. So let me get right into it. So first off, let's talk about Greg, though. He is an 8 for 8k double breaker. Already he's crashing the Hive Queen. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty big part of the meta right now. Double breaker, that's nice, and his ability just makes him bonkers. Just an 8k for 8 double breaker is already fairly even, considering Dark usually has weaker creatures to begin with, unless they're unstable or something like that. But he gets this ability, he comes in late game, but that's when you already have the combo set up and ready for him to shine. So he can actually put in a lot of work for you without even having to attack. In fact, most of the time I don't even think I've ever attacked with him. He still ends up banishing 2 creatures before he leaves play, which is really cool. So let me get right into it. So, Greg, let's go over some of his friends, right? Now these are 2 cards that just work with him on field in general. Alright, we got Blackfeather. Blackfeather's just nice because, you know, every time one of the creatures is banished, you get to draw cards. So when you're abusing his effect, you're drawing cards. Just works really nice. The only downside to Blackfeather is he's a 5 for 2k. Being a 5k, there's a lot of, level 5. Being a level 5, there's a lot of level 5 choices for Darkness, which is really too bad. Especially when the second one is Ripper Reaper. Now, Ripper Reaper works after Greg is in play, so that's okay. If you have the Blackfeather first, you can play the Blackfeather, go into the Ripper Reaper. Blackfeather, I don't know, it's not seeing extensive play, but it's one of those cards that your opponent just kind of forgets about almost, and then you keep drawing cards, and eventually they figure out, wow, this is really annoying. But so Ripper Reaper. Ripper Reaper, whenever he comes into play, you banish one of your creatures, and they have to banish one of their creatures. Well, when Greg's on field, they have to banish 2 of their creatures. So you're getting double the effect on Ripper Reaper for the price of 1. So you're killing one of your creatures, they're killing 2. Ripper Reaper can kill things that give you draw ability, whatever, like out of play effects, which is really nice. There's some cool things you can do with Ripper Reaper, but that aside, you get to double the amount of creatures you banish off of Greg, and in turn, in theory, double the amount of cards you draw off Blackfeather. So that's kind of a cool triad right there. Whatever. Alright, so, really simple. Slayers work incredibly well with Greg because whenever they are battling, if they lose, which they generally are going to, they have to banish their creature. Now, they can crash into something much bigger than them, kill that creature, and then they have to banish another creature on top of that. So you're getting double the Slayer ability for the price of 1, which makes it just that much, it hurts them that much more. It's really going to deter them from attacking and all that, so really cool with Slayer. Alright, now we have creatures that kill themselves upon attacking. Now, these are usually chump creatures, Evo bait, stuff like that. This one's a blocker, which is kind of nice. So what happens is if you have a swarm built up, in theory, you just swing in, it dies, and they have to banish creatures. Swing in, it dies, they banish creatures. They swing in, using a kind of combo like that, you could just clear their board completely. So there's a lot of like little broken things you can do with a lot of little creatures that, you know, in turn can banish a lot just through his ability. Now we have creatures who die upon winning battles. Now, first off, I want to mention, now this was a kind of a misprint, I think. This is listed as a Chimera, and really it should be a Graboid. Now, anyone who names that reference below, the first person who names it, I will give you a shout out in the next vid. But yeah, I kind of saw it and I'm like, wow, that's a really big typo there. So yeah, Graboid right there. Anyways, these are creatures that when they win battles, they have to banish another creature. So in the same theory as Slayer, they've already won the battle, they've already killed something, and now they have to kill another thing on top of that. It just hurts them that much more. Chimera Tyrant puts them a lot of work, being a turn 4. If they do not have a blocker on field, you can just absolutely abuse his double breaking, and then when finally he does win a battle, is unstable, Greg's Fortress bumps off another thing for you. Rupture Spider is just kind of cool because being a 6k for 4, you're already set up for the Lyras, bigger things to come down. Herald can't swing through, they have to worry about the blocker, stuff like that. But really I'm just, there's that other Skeeter Swarm, whatever it is, but I'm just illustrating the fact that when it, Alright, now we have creatures that bump back to hand when they die. Now these are kind of the same idea as the Swarm theory. These are creatures that just absolutely put in as much work as they can, and when they die, you can just play them down again. Being 3 mana is very easy to play down, especially when you already have Greg on field. You're already up to 8 mana, so why not play a 3 mana creature? And then Wave Lancer puts in quite a bit of work. First off, this would have to be some Water Dark Light variant, so you're already forced into that, but Wave Lancer being a blocker, you can actually absolutely abuse that blocking, so that's going to get annoying for your opponent, especially since they already annoyed enough that these things keep coming into play. Greg's Fortress just makes it that much worse that they are losing creatures constantly off of that. We have creatures that have effects when they leave play. These are blockers actually, which is really nice because then you get to choose when they die, and when they die they have to they have to kill a creature, and then you get to draw a card, etc. Just kind of nice. They really just Coral Claw isn't seeing as much play as Reef Scout. Just because of that instant drawback. But the nice thing about Coral Claw is he is a 3k for the same cost, and you still get to draw a card, but you don't get it until he dies. So some people want that instant satisfaction. This is a very fast-paced game, so I can understand that, but he is a cool option. So, and then lastly, this was just kind of a neat thought. Greg's Fortress could work in kind of a bottle build if you're playing dragons. Now, with Umbra, all your dragons get Slayer, which already we've talked about how good Slayer is with Greg's effect because you get the double Slayer ability almost. And with Lux, what's really cool is when one of your dragons dies, you can kill off the Lux, banish one of their creatures, and your dragon is still alive. So, if for any reason you had these 3 on board, you could have the Slayer effect, bump the Lux, kill the there's a lot of things that just work well with him. Now, he's not a format-breaking card, but he is just an all-around good card. He is a card that can fit into a lot of lists because of his ability and how good it is. Much in the same way as when Spellbane came out, stuff like that. Like, it didn't explode. It wasn't a crazy, like, meta-changing event, but at the same time, it was enough that people did not want to see it on board, The nice thing is when they do kill Greg, which they are going to, they hate the fort. Look at him. He's just adorable. He's got a little ooze pile, whatever. They're going to get angry very quickly, and he will probably see a terror pit right away. He will probably see some form of removal, or something will just crash over him. They'll tap him down, they'll crash over him, they will kill him, and they still lose a creature off of it. So there's just a lot of ways you can just abuse this card, no matter what. Unless they root trap it, no matter what, he is killing a creature. So he's already going 1-for-1 card. And more than not, he will gain you card advantage because he will be killing multiple cards off of his effect, hurting them that much more. And so he goes into setup-oriented decks, combo-based. Like I said, he works incredibly well with Ripper Reaper, stuff like that. And it's an easy combo to get off. So the nice thing about Blurple builds is there's a lot of creatures that are just so small they're going to die no matter what anyways. So why not hurt them for killing your stupid small creatures, So let me know what you guys think about Greg the Fort. I really like this card. I like builds that play him. I love having him on field. What's nice is with Dracothane, you do Greg, you follow up the Dracothane, and you get all these stupid creatures back that just die on command, whatever, and it just swarms that back up again, and then you have the Dracothane to worry about. So Greg is less of a target, but at the same time he's hurting them all the way through. So let me know what you think, guys. If there's any other cards you want me to spotlight, comment below. Again, the trivia for today is Graboid. What is that from? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the vid, and check out my other videos. If you like them, please subscribe, and yeah, have a good one. Keep testing. Peace.